Karma. Karma. இந்த ஒரே நிமிஷத்துல வந்துட்டேன். हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ गजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तम् उपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिणयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत्तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीं वापीन वक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मणिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्. Which is sloka that we should do now? 50 or 51?
50, sir.
We finished 50, right?
51 let the start பண்ணுவோம்.
Okay. 50. भृङ्गीचानडनोत्कडमद ग्राही स्फुरन्मादवाक्लादो नादयितो महासिदवभो पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः सत्पक्षः सुमनो वनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनो राजीवे भ्रमराधिपे विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः भृङ्गीच नटनोत्कट करमदग्राही स्फुरन्मादवाह्लाद नादयितो महासितवपुः पञ्चेक्षुणाश्चादृतः सत्पक्षः सुमनो वनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीयो मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः. Shailavasi is we said that the Sri Shailam is the place where this Sivananda Lahari was composed. So Sri Shailavasi is nothing but Shiva. Vibhuhu we have already described is the omnipresent Parameshwara. Yeah, somebody who is present everywhere is Vibhu. That is why he is calling him as Vibhu. Sri Shailavasi Vibhuhu He Parameshwara, who is to be seen, who is to, even though he is seen everywhere, he is in the present I am realizing him in Sri Shailam, Sri Shailavasi Vibhuhu. So that Sri Shailavasi Shiva is, this is a simile between Shiva and the what do you call bee, okay, the black bee. So Bringicha. So we'll see the comparison similar to what he had done in the previous words. he had compared Shiva to jasmine flowers. In this case, he is comparing Shiva to the bees. Okay. So the phrases to compare are first one, Bringi Icha Natana Utkata. Bringi Icha Natana Utkata. Bringi is the the female bee. So Bringhi is the female bee. Bringhi Icha, according to the desire of the female bee. Natana Utkata, the male bee is flying here and there, and it appears as though it is performing a dance according to the tune of the female bee. So Bringi Icha Natana Utkata. That is the case of the bee. In the case of Parameswara, so Bringi is the Munis, right? So you have heard the Bringi Muni is the one who is the three-legged Muni. So who in Chidambaram we have that. So the according to because of in appreciation of his great devotion towards Lord Shiva performed a dance for him. So Bringi Icha Natana Utkata. So one who performed dance in order to satisfy, in order to please his devotee, who is Bringi, the Bringi Rishi. So Bringi Icha Natana Utkata. Then the second phrase is Kara Madagrahi. Kara Madagrahi. Kara Madagrahi is the one who consumes, Grahi means to consume, to take, to possess. So Madagrahi is the bees go into the trunks of the elephants, and they drink the whatever secretion comes out of the elephant. So the kara is the elephant. So elephants madagrahi, the water that comes out of the elephant's trunks. So kara madagrahi, that is in the case of the elephant. On the other hand, in the case of kari madagrahi, right? Kari madagrahi. So in the case of Parameshwara, he was Kari is the Gajasura. So Gajasura Mada Grahi. Mada is his what is it called ego. He decimated the ego of Gajasura and killed him finally. So Kara Mada Grahi. So that is the second. The first one is the Bringi Icha Natana Utkata. Second comparison is Kara Mada Grahi. The third one is Spuran Madhava Ahlada. Spuran Madhava Ahlada. Spuran means to shine, to glitter. So Spuran Madhava. Madhava means the Madhava Ahlada. The bee gets very happy when it is the spring season because the flowers are coming up. Everything is nice all around. And so the bee is very happy, and it keeps going from flower to flower to flower. So Spuran Madhava Ahlada, the one who feels very, very happy upon the coming of the spring season, so that it can flutter from flower to flower. That is the case of the bee. In the case of the Parameshwara, the word Madhava should be attributed to Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu, as you know the story of Ayyappa, the Master Mahavishnu came in the form of Mohini avatar. So Spuran. So the beautiful, the attractive, the shining Madhava Mahavishnu, who came in the form of Mohini, Ahlada, the one who became very, very happy upon seeing Mahavishnu in the form of Mohini. So Spuran Madhava Ahlada. So that is the third phrase. First one is Bringi Icha Natana Utkada. Second one is Karamadagrahi. Third one is Spuran Madhava Ahladha. The next one is Nada Yutha. Nada Yutha. Nada Yutha means when the bee keeps flying from flower to flower to flower, it makes a smile, a gentle humming noise. So the noise is like we call it a ringkaram, right? So the ringkaram is the nadam that is emanated by the bee and therefore it is Nadayuta. It is accompanied by the Rinkaram or the Nadam. So Nadayuta. In the case of Parameshwara, Nadam. Nadam means Pranamam, Pranavanadam. The sound of Omkaram is supposed to represent Shiva also. So she is the Nadayuta. So that is the fourth one. So next one is Bringischa Natanodkada Karamadagrahi Spuravan Madavahlada Nadayito Mahasita Vapahu. Mahasita Vapahu. Mahasita Vapahu should be in the case of B, it should be split in a different way. In the case of Parameshwara, it should be split in a different way. So in the case of the B, we split it as Maha Asita Vibhuhu. Maha Asita Vapuhu. Vapu means appearance. Maha means very, very. Maha Asita, very dark, very black appearance is Maha Asita Vapuhu. That is in the case of the B. In the case of Parameshwara, we split it as Maha Sita Vapuhu. Maha Sita Vapuhu. Sita is the Sweta, so they are the white color. So or Spatikam, the color of the Spatikam. So Maha Sita Vapuhu. In the case of the B, we split it as Maha Asita Vapuhu. Maha Asita Vapuhu. Maha Sita Vapuhu. So Madhavakhlado Nadayuto Mahasitavapuhu Pancheshuna Chadritaha Pancheshuna Pancha Ishuna Cha Adritaha Pancheshuna. So we have read in Lalita Sahasranam so many times that Panchabanadi, right? Panchabana, the five flowery arrows or the Manmatha has got, right? So so that is why he is called Panchabana. So Pancha Ishuna cha Adritaha. It is in the because they are all flowery arrows. Those arrows contain the bee. So Pancha Ishunas cha Adritaha. So it is sitting on those flowery arrows, which are used by Manmatha. In the case of Parameshwara, Pancheshuna cha Adritaha. Pancheshuna cha Adritaha means Adrita means to become a target of. So to become a target of Pancheshuna, Manmata. So because Manmata wanted to kill Parameshwara, and or if you wanted to seduce Parameshwara, whichever way you take it. So Pancheshuna cha Adritaha. One who became the target of Pancheshuna, which is Manmata. In one case, it is Pancha Ishuna cha Adritaha. In other case, Pancheshuna, because it is his name as well. So Pancheshuna cha Adritaha. So Bringi cha Natanot Kadakkaramadagrahi Spuran Madhava Kladanadayito Mahasita Vabhu Pancheshuna cha Adritaha. Then the next third line, Satpakshaha. Satpakshaha means Satpakshaha. So the one who has got very, very nice taste, so have a very good taste. So the bee goes from flower to flower to flower in order to suck the honey from the flowers. So it has got very good taste. It is going after good things in life. So Satpakshaha. In the case of Parameshwara, you should take it as same meaning Satpakshaha. So it is a very appreciative of, very much in favor of Sat is anything good. Good devotees, Parvati, or anything good. So he is also Satpakshaha. The bees are also Satpakshaha. Then Sumano Vaneshu, Sumano Vaneshu, Satpak. We can take the two phrases together also. You can take them separately. Sumano Vaneshu means the Sumanasa means flowers, right? Sumano Vaneshu. So it is found in the cluster of flowers. Therefore, it is Sumano Vaneshu. Or you can also interpret it as Sumano Vaneshu Satpakshaha. So out of the flowers, whatever is the good things are there, it is taking and it is sucking and taking them. So Sumano Vaneshu Satpakshaha. That way also you can interpret it. So Sumano Vaneshu Satpakshaha. In the case of Parameshwara also, you can say Sumano Vaneshu is whoever is the devas, the devotees, the rishis, they are all protected by Parameshwara. Therefore, he is Sumano Vaneshu Satpakshaha. That way also you can interpret it. So Sumane Vaneshu Satpakshaha or Satpakshaha Sumana Vaneshu. Sa, then the next one is Sa, then that Parameshwara Brahmaradipaha. Brahmara Adipaha. In the case of the bee and in the case of the Shiva, both ways the way to interpret Brahmaradipa is in the case of the bee, Brahmara Adipaha, Brahmara Adipaha. So Brahmara Adipaha means the male bee, which is the Brahmara means the nature of the bee is to keep going from flower to flower to flower. Therefore, it is Brahmara Adipaha. In the case of Parameshwara, she is the husband of Brahmarambika. Therefore, he is Brahmara Adipaha. Brahmarambika, Parvati. So, Brahmarambika's husband. So, he is Brahmara Adipaha. Brahmara Adipaha. So what is left now? Then, having said all this, the bee, because it has got all this good, good natured things. So this we say, mano viharatam. Let this bee play in my heart, but that is not really important as far as the last sentence is concerned. We just say that Sri Shailavasi Vibhu Mama Mano Viharatam. Let him play in my heart. Let my mind be always possessed of the thought of the Sri Shailavasi, Sri Parameshwara. Mano Viharatam. Viharatam means to play, to enjoy in performing various leelas. So let him please me with all his activities. So Mano Viharatam. Sri Shailavasi Vibhu Mano Sakshat Madiye Manorajive Viharata. Manorajive. Rajive means we know the lotus, right? Manorajive in my heart, which is like a lotus. So Manorajive Sri Shailavasi Vibhu Viharatam. So that is how we compare the B and Parameshwara in this particular verse. Okay. Bringi cha natanotkatak karamadagrahi spuran madava klado nadayito mahasitavapu pancheshu nasadritahem. The problem in this particular verse is the very long words and if you split them, the meaning will be lost. So say if you read it just line by line, Bringicha Natanotkatak Karamadagrahi Spuran Madhava Klado Nadayito Mahasidavavu Pancheshu Nachadritaha. You can read like that because the Madhava, otherwise you'll have to read it as Bringicha Natanotkatak Karamadagrahi Madhava Aklado Nadayito Mahasidavavu Pancheshuna Chadritaha. The word Madhava and Ahlada are combined together and they unfortunately come at the end of the line. So it becomes slightly long. So you have to read them together. So Satpakshas Sumano Vaneshu Sapunat Sakshan Madiyo Mano Viharajive Brahmaradipo Viharatam Sri Shailavasi Vibhu. Manorajive is also a combination. Both words are combined. Mano is your mind, heart. Then Rajive is the lotus. Mano Rajive. It is not a simile, it's right. It is so you have to take them together. Mano Rajive, my mind, which is like a lotus. So Mano Rajive. So Bringi cha natanot katak karamadagrahi spuran madava klado nadayito mahasita babu पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः सत्पक्षस्सु मनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीयो मनद्राजीवे प्रमदाधिपो विकरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः. That is 51. What I have done is I have already recorded this whole thing and I have sent it to you. So you can listen to it at home also and practice. Okay. The next one, 52, is again is a comparison, a simile between the dark cloud and Parameshwara. So the dark cloud, which produces lots of rain, which produces, it removes the dirt, and for those so many other things that the black cloud produces, it is comparable to Shiva according to the Shankara. And what does that go? Karunyamrutavarshinam, Karunyamrutavarshinam, Ganavipad Grishmachida Ganavipad Ganavipad Karmatam Vidyasasya Palodayaya Sumanah Samsevyamichakritim Nrityadbhaktamayuramadrinilayam Chanchajjatamandalam Shambho Vanchati Neelakandara Sada Tvam me Manaschatakaha कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठं विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं सञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् सञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् ओके शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्दरसदा Tvam me manaschatakaha. Okay, so Tvam me manaschatakaha. My mind is completely involved in you. I'm always thinking about you, and I'm always thinking. Okay, Tvam me manaschatakaha, and it's okay. So we'll go through the first line similar to the previous one. Karunya Amruta Varshinam. Karunyamruta Varshinam. That is the first one. The second one is Gana Vipad Grishmachida Karmatam. That is the second one. Karunya Amruta Varshinam. Gana Vipachida Karmatam. Then Grishmachida Karmatam. Then the third one is Vidya Sasya Phala Udayaya. Vidya Sasya Palodayaya. That is the third one. The fourth one is Sumanas Samsevyam. Sumana Samsevyam. The fifth one is Icha Akritim. Icha Akritim. The sixth one is Nrityad Bhakta Mayuram. Nrityad Bhakta Mayuram. Then Adri Nilayam. Then the next one is Sanchaj Jatha Mandalam. So Neelakandaram. Okay, Neelakandaram. So Neelakandara. These are all the words or the phrases to compare. So whoever is like this, that Neelakandaram. So Shambho, who is the Shambho? And then so Tvam me vanchati. So I am desirous of thinking about you all the time. So first one is Karunya Amrita Varshinam. Karunya Amrita Varshinam. So in the case of the Parameshwara, because of he is a Vyaja Karuna Murti, he is very much Asutosh, right? So he becomes very happy when the devotees offer him praise. So out of that, out of his Karunyam, Amrita Varshini, he is giving them, he blesses them, and therefore he is pouring, he is showering Amritam for the devotees. So Karunya Amrita Varshanam. So that is the case of the Parameshwara. And in the case of the dark cloud, it is pouring. It is pouring out in order to quench the thirst of the devotee in the people. It is out to and bring new crops. And for this reason, It is as though the clouds have taken pity, or clouds like the people or the things on the earth, and therefore they are showering the rains. So Karunya Amrita Varshinam. Then Gana Vipat Grishma Chidakarmadam. See, Grishma is the summertime. So Grishma Chidakarmadam. So because of the intense heat, it produces so much of discomfort. So it is Gana Vipat Chida. So the one which produces so many troubles, so much difficulties for the people. So Ganavipachida Karmatam, those Chida Karmatam. So that those difficulties are removed when such nice rains come. So the place becomes cool and the heat is completely driven away. Therefore, the difficulties arising out of the intense heat are removed. Therefore, Ganavipat Chida Karmatam. So in the case of Parmeshwara, the difficulties in life which are all kinds of difficulties we endure because of the samsara, the repeated birth and death. So those some trouble that arise out of the samsaram are completely removed through devotion to Parameshwara. Therefore, Ganavipad Chida Karmatam. So those difficulties are removed by Parameshwara. So the third one, Vidyasasya Vidyasasya Palodayaya. Vidyasasya Palodayaya. So the with the whatever crops that you put on earth, you plant, they all come very nicely because of the the rain bearing clouds which bring fresh rains to the earth. Because of that, the crops grow. So so we say that sasya Palavodayaya. Sasya Palavodayaya. Sasya means very nice. Pala, result. Udayaya, in order to provide, in order to achieve. So Pala with Sasya Palavodayaya, the ones which produce good results to the crops. That is in the case of the clouds. In the case of Parameshwara, so Vidya Sasya Palavodayaya. Vidya is taking significance. The words Vidya is taking significance. In the case of Parameshwara, Vidya is the knowledge about the Brahman that you gather. So that knowledge is enhanced by devotion to Parameshwara. So Vidya Sasya Pala Udayaya. Provide through devotion to Parameshwara, your knowledge about Brahman, your knowledge about Vedantam increases, and therefore he is Vidyasasya Palodayaya. The next one is Sumanaha Samsevyam. Sumanaha, in the case of generally Sumanas is we attach to flowers, but Sumanaha is how you can ascribed to the devotees by splitting the word as Sumanaha. Su is good natured people, sadhus. So Sumanaha Samsevyam. Those who the sadhus are devoted to Parameshwara. So Suma are worshipped by, sought after by Sumanaha. So Sumana Samsevyam. In the case of the clouds, the flowers, in order for them to survive, they need a lot of water, and they become very happy when it rains, and they bloom very well after it rains. So therefore they are Sumana Samsevyam. So Karunyamrita Varshinam Gana Vipad Grishma Chidakarmadam Vidyasasya Palodayaya Sumanasam Ichakritim. Icha Akritim means to take appearance. So Akriti is appearance. So when we say he has got a good Akriti, it means that it is a very nice appearance, maybe very tall, very fair, very beautiful, or whatever it is. So each Akriti. So Icha Akriti is according to whatever you feel like, your shape and size changes from time to time according to whatever you feel like at that point of time. So that is very much applicable to the clouds because they keep changing shape and color all the time. So Icha Akritim. In the case of Parameswara, the same thing. He comes up in various appearances. They were particularly in Thiruvayar Puranam, we say 64 different appearances. So Icha Akritim, Parameswara. Icha Akritim. Then which Akritim. The next line is Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram. Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram. So the one who the devotees are equated to peacocks here. So the Bhakta Mayuram Nrityat. So because when they see Parameshwara, they dance out of happiness, out of ecstasy. Therefore, Bhakta Mayuram Nrityate. So, making the devotees dance out of ecstasy, that is Parameshwara. Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram. So, in the case of the cloud, we know that the peacocks become very happy when they see the clouds, very dark clouds, because they know that it is going to rain and therefore they dance. That is the nature of the peacocks. So, Mayuram, Bhakta Mayuram Nrityate. So, making the peacocks to dance out of happiness when that is the nature of the dark clouds. So, Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram. Then Adri Nilayam. Adri is the hill, right? So, Adri Nilayam. In this case, the Sri Shailavasi is the Sri Parameshwara. Therefore, he is Adri Nilayam, who lives in the mountains, or he is permanently otherwise living in Kailash also. Therefore, that is also the mountain. So, Adri Nilayam. In the case of the peacock, it is found on the mountains, and therefore it is Adri Nilayam. So, Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram, Adri Nilayam, then Sanchat Jatha Mandalam. Sanchat Jatha Mandalam. So, in the case of the clouds, where do you find them? You find them wherever there is lightning, right? So, whenever the clouds keep moving from place to place, you can also see the lightning happening, and the streaks of lightning are moving from one end to the other end. Therefore, they are sanchajjata. So the clouds which are seen along with streaks of lightning. Therefore, it is sanchajjata mandalam. In the case of Parameshwara, he has got the very thick hair. So therefore, those that Jata Mandalam keeps shaking whenever he dances. Therefore, he says that Sancha Jata Mandalam in the case of Parameshwara. Then Neelakandaram. Neelakandaram. Kandaram is the neck. So in the case of Parameswara, it is Neelakandaram. So that is very straightforward. So in the case of the cloud, it is Neelakam. Neelakam Andaram. Neelakam is the very something which the cloud which bears water is called Neelakam. So Neelakam Andaram is Neelakandaram. So the cloud which bears water before it is going to rain. So Neelakandaram. So those are the comparisons. Karunya Amrutavarshinam Gana Vipad Grishma Chidakarmatam Vidyasasya Palodayaya, then Stumanas Samsevyam Ichakritim Bhakta Mayura Nrityad, then Adri Nilayam Chanchajjata Mandalam Neelakantaram. So, having compared Parameshwara and Shiva with these various attributes, then we say Me Manachadagaha. Me Manachadagaha. So, Chadagam is, I did not explain it before. So Chatakam is in the case of the cloud, it will be the Chataka, the bird Chataka bird, which is supposed to be always looking at the cloud, looking for rain. So Chataka Pakshi, Chatakam. So Manas Chatakam, which is looking for the cloud to rain whenever, and desirous of getting the rain from the cloud. It is always looking at the cloud. That is the nature of the Chataka Patri. So that is Chatakam in the case of the cloud. In the case of the Parameshwara, it is Manas Chatakam. Manas Chatakam is the Manam, the devotee's mind, which is like a Chatakam, is thinking in terms of thinking of Parameshwara. So me Manaschataka hai, me Manaschataka hai, Chambo Tvam Vanchati, Sada Tvam Vanchati. My mind is always thinking about you. Hey Parameshwara, hey Parameshwara. You can put the Shambho wherever. Shambho, hey Shambho. May Manachchataka hai Sada Tvam Vanchati. It is always thinking of, always desirous of getting you only. And so that is the completion of the particular verse. So, Karunyamritavarshinam Ganavipadgrishvachidakarmatham Vidyasasya Palodayaya Sumaneh Samsevyamicha नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलं शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः. That is 52. We'll perhaps do just one more. आकाशेन शिखी समस्तपनिनां नेत्राकलापी नदानुग्राहि प्रणवोपदेशनिनिधै केकीति योगीयते श्यामां शैलसमुद्भवां गणरुचिं दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुधा वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकं तं नीलकण्ठं भजे आकाशेन शिखी समस्तपणिनां निद्राकलाभिद्रथानुग्राहि प्रणवोपदेशनिनिधै केकीति योगीयते श्यामां शैलसमुद्भवां गणरुचिं दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुदा वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकं तं नीलकण्ठं भजे. So Neelakantam Bhaje. So he is praying to Parameshwara. So in again Neelakantam, who has got a Neelakantam? The peacock has got Neelakantam also, blue neck. Therefore, there's a pun between the peacock and Parameshwara in this particular verse. The comparison of attributes, similar attributes between peacock and Parameshwara. So therefore, Neelakantam, both of them. In the previous one, Neelakandaram was used to compare between the cloud and Parameshwara. In this case, Neelakantam is used to compare between the peacock and Parameshwara. Tam Neelakantam Bhaje. That peacock, that Parameshwara, I worship him. Okay. Then Akashena Shiki, Akashena Shiki. That's the first one. Akashena Shiki. Second one, Samastapaninam Netra Kalabi. Samastapaninam Netra Kalabi. So first one we will see Akashena Shiki. Akashena Shiki means the, in the case of Parameshwara, he has got the Vyomakeshi, right? So the one who has got the sky itself as his head, right? So Akashena Shiki. You might have heard in Lalita Sahasranam also. There is one particular word which is Vyomakeshi, Vimanasta, Vajrani, Vamakeshwari. So Vyomakeshi is Vyomakesha's husband, I mean wife. Vyomakesha, who is Vyomakesha? Vyomakesha is Parameshwara. Parameshwara who has got the sky as his head. That means what? When the story goes that he brought the Ganges to earth, right? So by completely spreading his hair all everywhere, he arrested the flow of the Ganges and so made the flow of Ganges orderly on earth. That is why he is called Vyomakesha. So Vyomakesha's wife is Vyomakeshi. So Akashe Nashiki. Then the second one is Samasta Paninam Netra Kalapi. Samasta Paninam Netra Kalapi. Pani is what? Pani is the snake. So Paninam Netra is the leader of, or the most important snake. The Netra, Paninam Netra, Kalapi. Kalapi is wearing that snake or as his umbrella, let us say, or on top of his head, let us say. Paninam Netra Kalapi. So the one who is wearing snake on his head, which is the Parameshwara. So, first one is Akashena Shiki Samasta Paninam Netras Samasta Paninam Netra Kalapi. Then, in the case of peacock, it is Akashena Shiki, means what? The male peacock. It has got very elevated, very high, whatever you call it. In Tamil, we call it kondai, right? Kondai means what's the decoration on the head. Therefore, it is Akashena Siki. Then the second one, Samastapaninam Netrakalabi. Samastapaninam Netrakalabi is in the case of Parameswara, we also say that we already described it. In the case of the peacock, it has got feathers, right? So it has got feathers. Each feather has got an eye-like thing. Each cluster of feather, it has got an eye-like thing. So much of so many feathers, all of them have got netras, eyes. Therefore, samasta paninam netra kalabi. So many eyes on those feathers. Therefore, it is called netra kalabi. So that is the case of the peacock. Akashena shiki samasta paninam netra kalabi. Then nata anugrahi. Nata anugrahi. Nata devotees. Devotees, the anugrahi, the one who blesses the devotees. That is the Nata Anugrahi. In the case of peacock, it is the one who is desirous of performing the dance. Therefore, they call it Nata Anugrahi. So, Nata Anugrahi. Then, Pranava Upadesha Ninadaihi. Pranava Upadesha Ninadaihi. Pranava Upadesha Ninadaihi means प्रणव उपदेश निनदैः केकीति योगी केकीति योगीयते. So Pranava Upadesha Ninadaihi means the one the words that utter the pranava, which are Om, right? So Pranava Upadeshi Ninadaihi, the whatever sounds that produce the sound Om, through that, who are doing that? The bhaktas. So Pranava Upadesha Ninadaihi, those who are praising Parameshwara through the word Om, those people are calling him Keki. Keki is he is like that is how they by invoke Parameshwara. Therefore, Keki iti yogi giyate. He is worshipped in as Keki. So Pranavopadesha Ninadaihi Kekiti Yogiyate. And then in the case of the peacock, it is the sound that is produced by the peacock. It is keki. It is always shouting. The sound whenever it shouts, it produces the sound keki keki. So kekiti yogiyate, the one who produces the sound keki. Therefore, it is kekiti. So Pranavopadeshanadaihi means, so it is in the minds of the poet, it is like the sound that is produced by the peacock, it is like Om. So Pranava Upadeshanadaihi Kekiti yogiyate. Then the next one is Shamam. Shamam is what? Dark in color, right? So the dark, then peacock is also dark in color. So Shamam. Shamam. Saila Samudbhavam. Saila Samudbhavam. Saila Samudbhavam. Ganaruchim. In the case of Parameshwara, the Saila Samudbhavam. Who is Saila? Sailam is let us say Himalayas. Samudbhavam, the one who came out of the mountain, which is Parvati. Shaila Samudbhavam Ghana Ruchim, the one who is desirous of Parvati, who is the daughter of the mountain, who came out. Udbhava means to be born out of. So, Shaila Samudbhavam, Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim, the one who is desirous of, the one who is fond of the Shaila Samud, the one who is very fond of the one who was born in the mountain. So Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim. Then so Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim Drishtva Natantam Muda. Drishtva means by looking at Parvati, Drishtva, as soon as she appears in front of him, Muda, out of happiness, Natantam, performs a dance. So, according to the desire of Parvati, he is dancing. So, Drishtva, Natantam, Muda. Then, Vedanta, Upavane, Vihara Rasikam. Vedanta. So we say that Yo Veda Dosvara Prokto Vedante Ja Pratishtadi. Like that is how the Upanishad teaches. Always the Upanishads always talks about the Brahman, which is Parameshwara in this case. So Upavanam means the garden. Vedanta Upavane, Vihara Rasikam. See the Parameshwara who is happy, very, very happy to be invoked through Vedas. So Vedanta Upavane Vihara, to reside in the Vedanta, Rasikam, desirous of. So Vedanta Upavane Rasikam, Vedantopavane Vihara Rasikam, Tam Neelakantam Bhaje. So that Neelakantam, I am worshipping. So that is how you do it for the Parameshwara. Then Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim Drishtva Natantam Muda. In the case of peacock should be taken as Shaila Samudbhavan. In the tall hills, the clouds are produced. So by looking at the clouds, the peacock becomes happy. Therefore, Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim Tam Nila Ganaruchim. Ganaruchim is black. So Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim Drishtva Natantam Muda. It out of happiness, it dances. So Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim Drishtva Natantam Muda. That is the way, that's the way it applies to the peacock. So Akashena Shiki Akashena Shiki Samastapaninam Netra Kalapi नतानुग्राही प्रणवोपदेशनिनिधैः केकीति योगीयते श्यामां शैलसमुद्भवां गणरुचिं दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुदा वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकं. That Vedantopavane Vihararasikam. That one, it cannot be applied to peacock directly, but you can say Upavane Vihara Rasikam is applicable to the peacock. It is found in the gardens. It's found in beautiful places. Those flower gardens, wherever those gardens are there, you can see the peacock. Therefore, you say that Upavane Vihara Rasikam. So it is not the Vedanta. The word Vedanta will not apply to the peacock. So Upavane Vihara Rasikam, that applies to the peacock. So Vedantopavane Vihara Rasikam Tam Neelakantam Bhaje. So Akashena Shiki Samastapaninam Netra Kalapi Natanugrahi Pranavopadesha Ninidhai Kekiti Yogiyate Shyamam Shaila Samudbhavam Ganaruchim दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुदा वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकं तं नीलकण्ठं भजे. So the next one, we'll just read it and then we'll explain it in the next lab. So this one is it talks about the dance performed by Parameshwara during Pradosham time, the evening time. So in Pradosham, the Pradosha column, it rains. It's such a beautiful, and I think of a very rainy day, and then or at least a very rainy afternoon when it has nicely rained, and it is and the rain has stopped, so it is very nice, cool environment. And in that cool, it's beautiful. Flowers have come out, and it's a nice time. And the people, all the devas, and including Brahma, Vishnu, and everybody has gathered there, and to Parameshwara and Parvati are there, and in order to please all of them and out of his happiness, Parameshwara is performing a dance during the Pradosham time. That dance is being described here, and as the dance that is performed during the Pradosham time. So there is a sloka in it goes like this: Kailasa Saile Bhuvane Trijagad Janitri Trim Gaurim Nivesha Kanaka Anchida Ratnapite Kanaka Anchida Ratnapite Nrityam Vidhadum Abhivanchati Shulapanena Nrityam Vanchati Nrityam Vidatum means to perform, to do, to make. So nrityam vidatum apivanchati shulapanena deva pradoshatamiyetu bhajanti sarve. As he performs that beautiful dance, all the devas, including Mahavishnu and Brahma and all of them, they all assemble there and they perform, they offer their devotion to Parameshwara. That is one of the slokas which come as part of the Pradosha sloka. So, Kailasasai Labhuvane Trijagat Janitrim Gaurim Nivesha Kanakanchadaratnapite Nrityam Vidadam Abhivanchati Sulapani Naiva Pradosha Sametu Bhajanti Sarve. So that shloka has been taken. I mean, at least the concept of that shloka has been taken, and this particular verse has been composed, and it goes like this. Sorry, Sandhyagarmadinatyayo Harikara Gata Prabhutanakabhvano Varidagarjitam Vipishadam Drishtichata Chanchala Bhaktanam Paritoshavashpravidhara Drishtirmayuri Shiva Yasmin Ujjwalathandavam Vijayate Tam Neelakantam Bhaje. सन्ध्यागर्मदिनाद्ययो हरिकराघातप्रबोधानक ध्वानो वारिजगर्जितं द्विशतं दृष्टिच्छटा चञ्चला भक्तानां परितोषबाष्पविततिर्वृष्टिर्मयूरी शिवा यस्मिन्मुज्ज्वलताण्डवं विजयते तं नीलकण्ठं भजे. We will see it in detail in the next class. We'll stop it at this point. Okay. Namaskara. So I hope you are all able to, listen to those recording that I have sent to you, and you are able to practice. If you have any specific questions, any doubts, please call me. Okay. Namaskara. Okay. Bye.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mama.
Mama. Namaskar, Mama.
Thank you,
Namaskaram, sir.
Mama. Namaskaram.
Namaskara.